Frank Ticas dropping knowledge, coming at you once again, dropping a little bit of knowledge, a little bit of information, things that I see, things that I want to share with you guys. Like I said, I will try to be as active as possible, at least drop a video a day. I've been doing so it all comes from the fact that you guys are liking my stuff, you guys are watching my stuff, and that really does motivate me to just continue to put out content. And the content will be varied. It will be about what I think of certain topics, of certain situations, and I want to bring them to you. We won't always agree. You may not always see it from my point of view, and that's okay. I respect everyone's point of view, but if there's something that I don't agree with, or if you ask me about something, or you have a strong feeling against something that I've said or I've put on the community tab, as a matter of fact, if you go to the community tab, you will see what I posted today regarding someone that unsubbed, but let me know that they were unsubbing, and the conversation that I had right after that, you will see that I'm always going to stick to what I promise. And that is, if it merits an answer, I will answer, but it will always be respectful. We may not always agree. There may be points that we're divided on, but I hope that you being a part of this community that I'm creating on this channel will realize that there are greater goals to accomplish, and it has to do more with understanding, with unity, and empathy. Above all, empathy. If you look at the thumbnail to this video, you will see that what we're going to talk about today has to do with the internet not being a real place. And what do I mean by the internet not being a real place? We're going to get to that. I'm going to show you guys a few examples. These are examples that I found that are very recent, that I think will illustrate the points that I want to put out there. And towards the end of this video, I'll give you guys what I think based on what I'm going to put down right now. And once again, if you agree, if you don't agree, or if you have a comment, or you question where I'm coming from, or why I feel this way I do, or I think the way I do, please, I welcome you to question. I think it's healthy to question everything. If we blindly believe things without questioning them, then there may be a chance that we can be manipulated through that, belief, or that unquestioned belief. It is important, at least in my life, before I came to the conclusion that, I believed wholeheartedly in a creator, and everything that has to do with there being a God. Before that happened, I questioned my beliefs. I studied, I researched, and I continue to do it. There will always be things that don't align with the way we see them, with the way we believe them. And the internet, fortunately or unfortunately, sometimes plays a factor. And I won't say just sometimes. I would say right now, a lot of what we're seeing, a lot of the political movements, all of these things that are happening, a lot of it was birthed online. But I don't want to continue carrying on. I'll make my points towards the end. Let's go ahead and check out what I want to put out there. The first clip I want to show you guys has to do with Glasses Malone. Now, recently, Glasses Malone had a very strong reaction to Aiden Ross. If you don't know who Aiden Ross is, well, I know who Aiden Ross is against my will. But if you've been on stream, if you know Kick and all of those things, then I'm sure you know who Aiden Ross is, right? He's got a very big following. He's very influential. He sat down with Trump. And as I told you at the beginning, a lot of what we're seeing, a lot of the belief systems, and the voting that has taken place in the past few years has really been influenced by a lot of streamers, by what they say, how they speak. Kids grow up, they see these people as role models, so they adopt the belief systems, they adopt the talking points, and they adopt a lot of the misbehavior that we're going to see right now. So, with no further ado, we're going to go ahead and look at this first clip, and then we're going to talk about it a little bit.
On stream, so don't say anything crazy. But listen, what up, Ness? Yo, this dude named Glasses Loke and Trap Bradshaw, they're threatening me.
Glasses? Oh, no, I know them dudes, bro. Trap ain't nobody. Don't pay him no attention. Glasses, that's family.
Okay, well, can you call Glass and let him know to tee up and get off my PP?
I'm gonna hit nephew. That's family. That's Glasses Malone.
Oh, okay, all right.
Trap is just clout chasing. He's a clubhouse for like 5 followers. Don't pay him no mind. Don't even mention his name. Glasses Malone is who he is. I'll call nephew right now.
All right, Whack. Thanks, bro.
All right.
Dude, so funny, bro. Holy shit. I'm actually like about to cry. That was so funny. He's like, don't pay him any attention. All right. Let me click off, bro. Oh, shit. Okay, what is this? Hold up.
That's my... You thinking you popping and talking shit about that sister? I'm gonna fuck what she said to that art. You keep calling her names, bro. I swear to God on Olivia, bro. It's going to come to a place where that's like, it's permanent. You can't take that off. AD let you get away with it the first time. He should have fucked you around and he didn't. Niggas keep letting you get it off because they want to be cool with you. It's one thing to say, hey, man, you know what? That lady ain't said your name, so you assuming it. You finna start calling her out her name. I'm telling you right now, 7th Street Crit, nigga not going for that. It ain't even got nothing to do with TD. Eventually, you just a white man talking shit about this sister.
Yeah.
That's what it's coming down to. And I'm just keeping it a beam with you, bro. I know you fuck with Act. I know you fuck with Flock and a couple niggas. You cannot be no motherfucking white man talking that much shit about that black woman. That's just not gonna fly, homie. I don't give a fuck what she's saying. I don't give a fuck about what you think is happening. I don't give a fuck if you think that shit dissing you. You're not finna be sitting up there just talking shit about that black woman. On God, bro. And if you keep doing it, I'm gonna start pressing all the niggas around you. I'm not gonna press you because I don't know where you at and I don't know how to get to you. But all the niggas around you, they don't got your money. They don't got none of that shit. Niggas gonna start pressing all the niggas, and I'm gonna make it my business to make Crips start pressing all the niggas around. All the niggas that's black around you. Every nigga that lets you get that off. You're not finna sit there and just be talking about that black lady, bro. That's just not gonna fly like that. It's not gonna fly like that. It's one thing, I get what you saying, but nah, homie. Like I saw you doing that other thing where you telling the nigga not to apologize for using the N-word offending black people. Crip gang, like, I don't give a fuck what nobody say. Not Chuck, not nobody. Not nobody. They gonna all have to get down with what I'm saying with every last one of them. Because I'm gonna make it real hard for everybody because we not no suckers and we not no sellouts. So you keep doing all of that shit, that's gonna be a problem.
Listen, so I get a call from Aiden, right?
Oh.
Aiden calls me. Hey, Whack, this dude named Trap and Trap's from Clubhouse. That's my guy, right? So I didn't know what was going on. So when I heard Trap don't be dealing with streamers. I'm like, oh, Trap clout chasing. Later on, when I went to listen to it, Trap didn't really say nothing at all. And G Malone, right? So I didn't know what was going on. I had no idea. I'm like, all right, I'll call G Malone. That's family, see what's going on. I get off the line. I don't know all this shit's going on with Doechii and the rapper and all this
right.
stuff, right? And I wasn't taking it serious because when it's serious, the powers that be that's tied to certain people will call me.
Mm-hmm.
And sure enough, about 10:30 that night, I got the call. The 5 line called me. Damu, what? You know, dude? Yeah, I know him. I said, so that's serious? Because I don't be knowing if shit, Adam, you know, I don't be knowing motherfuckers just trolling the troll, if anybody taking it serious. So I had to hit Aid like, hey, let's tone it down. You know, I know you feel the way you feel. You got yours off. Let's kind of leave it alone.
Actions have consequences. Words have consequences. Yes, there is free speech, but there's also what's called hate speech, and hate speech has a legal consequence to it. We're going to see that in the next example that I'm going to show you. But what I wanted you to see first and foremost is the fact that here is a man defending his community. And I applaud that. I applaud Glasses Malone. You know, I really didn't consume too much of his music. I liked that one song that he came out with from the perspective of Tupac Shooter. That that's a very, very good song. Other than that, I haven't really been paying attention to his music, but lately he's been coming up a lot. He's been, very vocal about representing his community, defending the women in his community, and I wholeheartedly applaud that. I agree with that. I think there needs to be more of that. We have to protect our women. We have to defend our women. Was I always on this vibe when I was younger? I don't think so. I was on the streets. I was, with the homies. I was doing stuff I wasn't supposed to do. And a lot of it had to do with just meeting girls and being with girls, one, after the other. But I mean, they were doing the same thing. It was sort of like a conscious thing. It was kind of like a lifestyle thing. But as I grew older, I understood that that was not the right way, that that was not correct. And this goes back to what I'm saying. Back then we were influenced by our surroundings, by the people we hung out with. Now we're not hanging around people, so we're being influenced by the people that we're watching, the people that we're seeing online, their talking points, their belief systems, and we adopt them. And I think that that's where we have to be very careful. A lot of people, when they get on the internet, I'm one of them, and I'm sure you're one of them, when you take a picture of yourself, you try to pose the best way possible so that picture on Instagram or wherever it is that you put it is going to look good. You're not going to take a picture from your worst angle. You're going to take it from your best angle. Well, the same thing happens with social media. The same thing happens with what we put out there. Obviously, me coming before the camera, I know that we're not close, but hey, I'm not going to come and start filming without at least taking a shower, right? And that's just me. I mean, I don't feel comfortable coming up in front of the camera and I haven't showered. Like, what is that, right? But that, like I said, we all have different ways of doing things, and we always put our best face forward, But sometimes we don't, and we're going to see with this next example just how far it can go. Yeah, I believe in freedom and First Amendment right to say what you say, what you want to say, but I also believe that there are consequences to what you say, and people don't have to accept what you're saying. And if you're being hateful, and if you're using hate speech, and if you're antagonizing and you're provoking violence, expect for violence to come at you. So here we go with our next example, and then we're going to have the closing conversation. And like I said, if you have a comment, if you have a thought about this, even if it's, questioning me or, my point of view, go ahead and put it in the comments, give it a like, subscribe. Let's continue to the next point, and then we'll finish the video.
Is that you, camera? What up, how you been? Together. Look at him. He still ain't doing shit. Tell me I can't say something again. This is America. This is America. I can call him a if I want.
Blessings to you all. This is Dalton Etherly, otherwise known as Chud the Builder on X and on Facebook. He seems to think that walking up to random black people and calling them the N-word is covered under the First Amendment.
He chimping out. He said, what's the issue? Because I looked at him.
Chimping out?
He chimping out.
Put that phone down. Put
Why?
that phone down.
You don't like looking ugly?
Put that phone down, bitch ass boy.
Shut up. Come on, come do something. Come do something.
Put that phone
Pull
down.
up.
Oh, he got found.
Yeah, walk up.
Right.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, all right.
They chimping out. They chimping out. Dumbass. Dumbass.
Now, this philosophy he has cost him dearly. It's cost him his job. It cost him his business. It cost him some relationships. It could possibly cost him his freedom. It also cost him his ability to go to certain establishments. He goes to certain restaurants and bars or places in his neighborhood, and some of them don't want him there because they're afraid of the chaos that may erupt when he starts his antics. So I'm going to discuss this in this video.
Just a mild-mannered guy driving the speed limit and a group of black people started screaming and attacking you. There must be a detail you're missing out.
Well, there was no, I was just driving to work, and she starts yelling at me saying, "What the fuck's your problem? What's your problem?" And I said, "Nigga, I'm just doing the speed limit." And then as soon as I said that, she threw her drink out the window. She said, "Nigga," threw the drink out at the truck. I rolled the window up, and then we drive to the next light. Of course, we get the red light again. She rolls her window down again, and all I did was I rolled mine down and hit her with the cross. They took that picture, posted it everywhere, said, "This guy's calling us hard R's, blah, blah, blah," got me fired. I started my company in response to this. This was about 2 years ago. And that's followed me throughout the whole time trying to, there's the picture of me with the cross, and they've been trying to cancel me and slander me, and they posted me all over Facebook the entire time I've had my company, trying to say, "Do not hire this guy, he's hateful, he's this, is that." They say nothing about the work I actually do. Being woken up by sheriffs all at my house saying they're coming to take me to jail for violating allegedly my conditions of release. I've done nothing wrong. I've contacted nobody, yet here they are. White lives don't matter, apparently, to the judicial system.
Don't be like Chud the Dud. Okay, don't be that guy. There's a lot of people that carry that same energy. Maybe they're not blatantly racist the way Chud is, but they might be blatantly misogynist, right? Or they might be blatantly lying to you or exaggerating. The internet is not a real place. It's only safe when you're at home in front of the screen the way I am. But nothing protects you of going out there with your camera and you call yourself a streamer or a podcaster or a blogger, whatever you want to call yourself. Okay, if you're out there putting yourself out there, disrespecting people, calling them out of their name, inciting violence, expect the consequences to come either equally or aggravated. If someone comes and hits me in the face, I might have to kick their ass all the way down to the concrete. Now, don't expect because you slap me that I'm going to slap you with the same force. I'm going to slap you harder. I'm going to come at you harder so that you stop, so that you realize that you're in the wrong, right? So the same thing, if you look at it that way, the same thing happens with what you say to people, how you treat others. You can't tell me how to handle my disrespect. If you are so blatant and you are so confident in how you're going to disrespect someone, you better be ready to accept what's going to come back to you, right? And I think that's where it all boils down to: how are you moving? Like what is it that you're trying to do? Are you trying to be that agent of chaos that puts out this negative energy? Well, expect it to come back some way or the other. Maybe not now, but eventually it'll come. Because, that's just the way it is. And it may be a slow burn. It may not be immediate. It may take some time. But you get under enough people's skin, it's going to come back to you. And you're already seeing it with my personal war and, the community that we represent with Exposed to. These guys that we've been going against have been getting under our skin for a long time with the blatant disrespect, misogyny, and racism that they portray. So if you are willing to get behind a screen, put content out, stream, you're playing video games and you're live streaming and all that stuff, you can say whatever you want to say. A lot of these guys became rich because they were so blatantly racist and disrespectful. Kids gravitate towards the things that they know their parents wouldn't approve of. So then they start repeating it, they start assimilating it, and by the time they turn 18, 19, 20, that is who they've become. And it's hard to break those cycles. It's hard to break that type of influence. You grow up and you get older, and and you're still stuck in this, in this mindset because you've been in there so long. You've been in that state so long. In the case of Aiden Ross, he still calls himself a streamer kid, and the guy's over 20. He's not a kid anymore. No, so if he gets slapped, he's gonna get slapped. Or these guys that mentally they're institutionalized. They still live in the shoe. They still live in prison. They're still walking the yard. They're still doing things in their mind. They're these great, these big criminals, but they're at home stuck in their four-walled room, and they can't get out because of all of the disrespect and all of the stuff that they do. The internet is not a real place because as soon as I log off, as soon as I turn off my phone, and as soon as I walk outside, I'm going to interact with neighbors who probably voted different than I did. I'm going to interact with neighbors that probably don't see or have the same religion as I do. But if they have a flat tire, they can't get their car turned on, I'm going to help them push because that's my neighbor. I live with these people. If I see someone that's struggling with groceries and I can help, I'm going to give them a helping hand because that's what we should be about, regardless of our political views, regardless of all of these things. Now, if you come at me and you approach me and you tell me exactly who you are and what you think and how you feel, and I don't agree with it, I'm going to let you know, as you can see in the community tab. Now, if you tell me that you voted for Trump and this and that, I don't care. But if you tell me that that's the reason why you're not going to unfollow me if you're announcing it, well, expect for me to respond and I will tell you exactly what I feel. Good riddance. As long as you respect, I'm not kicking you out. Like I said on my last video, you walk in with muddy boots, all I'll do is clean up after you. I don't get bothered. The internet is not a real place for me. What's real is what I live with, my family, all the things that I do, the work that I do, the people that I interact with, that I break bread with, that I care about, that I work for. That's my reality. This should not be your reality. Yeah, make money. Yeah, play video games. Yes, get online. But don't let this fool you. Because the minute you step outside, in the real world, it's dog eat dog. Right? Survival of the fittest. And if you're careless, and if you're a wreck, you'll get wrecked. Thank you so much for your time. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please like it. Please subscribe. Until next time, peace.